Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Charlita. I'm doing my presentation on malic acid. So malic acid has a molecular formula of C4H6O5, and to the right you can see its structure. Malic acid is a tart-tasting organic dicarboxylic acid. It has a role in many sour and tart foods. It is ionized and is form of malate, which is an intermediate in the Krebs cycle, along with fumarate. It is also to be formed from pyruvate. So it can be formed from pyruvate or fumarate. The name actually was derived from the Latin word apples. The name came from apples because the Swedish chemist Karl was the first person to extract or isolate malic acid from apple juice in 1785. In 1834, French chemist Théophile isolated another version. And the last one that I know of was in 1958. French chemist Victor prepared a third acid. He doesn't have a picture on file. I couldn't find one, so that's pretty strange. Everyone else has a picture. So here you'll see two drawings of malic acid. The one to your left, which is L-malic acid, is in its natural state, the way it forms and where it comes from. The other one is synthetically processed, so its structure is slightly different but still the same. The chemical and physical properties of malic acid. So it has a molecular weight of 134.078 grams of moles of grams. You can extract the exact mass is 134 grams per mole. Its density is 1.6 grams at 20 degrees Celsius. It's soluble in water, and its melting point is 130 Celsius, which I forgot to put there. This is a reaction, and in this reaction, malic acid is self-condensation. So it's formed fuming sulfuric acid. So you'll see in the blue to your left, that's the malic acid with another malic acid, which is has a reactant of fumic sulfuric acid and heat, which produces pyron colmolic acid. I hope I said that right. Malic acid is used in industries for flavoring, buffering, antimicrobials, intermediates, plating agents, surface treating, processing aids, and consumers like you and I use it in electrical and electronic products. I'm not really sure which ones. They weren't really specific about that. I'm pretty sure if I did a little bit more research, I probably could find something. It's also in foods, and I'll show you more about that on the next slide. It's also used in food packaging, ink, toner, and colorant products. So it has therapeutic uses. With these therapeutic uses, they all have been used in case studies. So for heart disease, they did a case study, and that one had little side effects, but what they noticed is that the molic acid did something naturally to the body. So it worked organic acids, or organic acids work great for cardio protection, according to the study. So it did help lower some of the elements that these people are suffering from with heart disease. Fibromyalgia. For fibromyalgia, it didn't work. There was a lot of side effects like vomiting or nausea and diarrhea. Just about every patient had one of those side effects, so that didn't work. But for skin issues, there was 3 patients who actually had everything go away on their skin, or 3+ patients had disappearing of scales from lesions, and then more than 4 people had restoration to normal looking skin. And they used it for 2 weeks daily, and they were able to see some improvements. So for foods, it's found mostly in fruits: apricots, blueberries, cherries, grapes, peaches, plums. It's a couple on here that I didn't know what they were, but they're pictured somewhere on here. So if you see a picture of something you don't, matter of fact, this one up top that looks like cherries, like a white or red cherry, no, white cherry, because they have white cherry, rain cherries. That is actually a mirable. I'm not pronouncing it correctly, but that's what that is. I didn't research its origin, but I think that was pretty interesting. Additives. It's also used as an additive, and if you've ever eaten a sour piece of candy, most likely it has malic acid in it. Any type of extreme sour candy in the United States, they use malic acid for that. They do put warning labels on there because, you know, sometimes if you eat too much of it, it can cause a little irritation in the mouth. But it also provides energy during digestion. So, and that's my presentation. Thank you very much. These are my references here, and I hope you enjoyed.